Stop crashing about looking for criminals and come round to Lady Edna's. We're having a smashing party to raise money for the Children's Christmas Fund, and you should join us.
Well, Aunt Miranda, you aren't going to sit me next to some super geekoid cousin like you did last time, are you?
Jennifer, I said I was sorry about that. Your friend had fun, I'm sure, discussing video games with Cousin Stanley, even if you did not. Anyway, by the time you get here, we'll be done with tea and ready to play some marvellous party games. Do be a dear and drag Jennifer along. See you soon.
To be honest, I think solving mysteries is way more fun than any stuffy old party. But come on, we can't keep Aunt Miranda waiting. Let's see. I know we want the train that goes south to Brighton, but what track number is that on? I can never remember. It's really easy to get lost in a train station if you don't know what track your train leaves from. Let's make sure we're on the right track before we head out. Grab your Eagle Eye handbook and check out the train schedule, okay? Which platform does the next train to Marlford leave from? Remember, it's 2:20 p.m. now. Great, we'll take the 2:30 train south to Brighton from track number 4. What's this? Everyone looks so glum and worried. Looks like the party's a dud.
Ah, the Eagle-Eye detectives themselves. So glad you've come. You're my only hope to recover my lost secret.
Jennifer, this is Sir Toby Uppingham. I'm afraid we've had a bit of an incident while you were on your way here. Someone dipped a hand into Sir Toby's jacket and peeked at a secret government message.
Oh, the scandal! The outrage! You must tell me who it was. Oh, I'm in such trouble. The minister will make me travel to every rainforest in the world, and he won't even let me bring my umbrella.
Don't worry, sir. We're ace sleuths. If someone here is guilty, we'll nail her. Or him.
Even if that someone is your Aunt Miranda? She's our prime suspect. Snoopy reporters, you know.
Oh, really, Toby, do shut up. Children, the facts are these. Our party today is a fundraising event for the Children's Christmas Fund, and each guest made a large donation to attend. The money is used to buy gifts for poor children during the holidays. Our theme was children's games, and we played games we haven't played since we were very young. After tea, we were playing musical chairs. Someone who sat in Sir Toby's chair peeked at the secret message in his coat pocket. But who did the dreadful thing? The other guests, suspects, are either huddled in the library or sulking out in the garden. Either Julia or I will escort you when you're ready.
Well, the table's set up really nicely. Look, there are even little name cards showing where everybody sat.
Of course, Jennifer. Since we knew you detectives were coming, we didn't touch anything after Sir Toby discovered the broken seal on his secret government message.
Okay, let's check out the seating arrangement. At the head of the table is a card that reads Lady Edna, of course. And her chair was one of those pulled away from the table. Going clockwise, next we have Sir Toby. His chair is still here with his coat hanging on it, and I see a paper peeking out of a pocket.
Yes, just as I found it. You see, after the music stopped the third time, I happened to sit in my own chair. I naturally checked my secret message and saw the broken seal. Gad, the minister will send me to be postmaster of an uninhabited island.
Going on clockwise, we next have Miranda. Her chair hasn't been pulled away. Then there's Ved at the foot of the table, and his chair is still there too.
You've noticed we're going boy, girl, haven't you? All very proper.
Right, so next in clockwise order is Ray. Her chair has been pulled away. And finally we have Ned, and his chair is also gone. Sir Toby, what kind of secret message is it? And how do you know someone got a look at it?
It's a secret government message. I'm quite high up in the government, you know. I'm afraid I can't divulge its contents, even to you. I checked the seal on the message right after tea, when we all stood up to play musical chairs. It was quite all right then. But when I checked it at the end of the game, I saw that the official seal had been torn wide open. I kept the message tucked away in my coat pocket. Unfortunately, I laid my coat over the back of my chair before the game started. I suppose I should have snatched it back as soon as we began switching chairs, but it just slipped my mind. Obviously, someone took advantage of the confusion to fish the letter out of my pocket while they were sitting in my chair. They read the letter's top-secret contents, then stuffed it back into my coat before moving on. How did this happen? The minister will ask me. While I was playing musical chairs, I'll reply. Oh, he'll have my head for this.
Who would want to risk getting in a lot of trouble just to see a secret government message? It probably isn't anything all that interesting.
Well, your Aunt Miranda, for one. Actually, anyone might want to look. And then sell the spicy tidbit to a newspaper for bags of dosh. Perhaps enemy agents read it. Oh, the minister will make me garbage inspector for North London.
This event has upset poor Toby. In fact, he's positively distraught. He even accused me of snooping into his soppy little secret message. But of course I didn't. I couldn't. I was the first one out when we played musical chairs. I never sat in anyone's seat. If you ask me, it's that rotter Ned Bassett. He's so desperate for thrills, he'd rip open that note just because he knew he wasn't supposed to.
Hi, Julia. Did you see all of what went on?
Certainly, Miss Eagle. After tea, the guests began a game of musical chairs.
Now, is musical chairs played the same way in Britain as it is in the U.S.? People march around the table until the music stops, then each one tries to sit in a chair, but the number of chairs is one less than the number of people?
Yes, Miss Eagle. The one person left standing is out. Then one chair is removed, and the music starts again. At our party, we were quite orderly and proper, of course. So everyone marched around and sat down in exactly the order we started. One did jostle elbows a bit to get a seat, but no one moved out of order. I was the one playing the music. Ray took care of the chairs.
You never sat in any of the chairs? You're not a suspect?
Why, no, Miss Eagle. It seems clear only one of 5 people could have done what Sir Toby has spoken of.
And who were those 5 people?
Why, either Ved or Ray Meringue, Ned Bassett, your Aunt Miranda, or Lady Edna herself. They were really the only ones to have the opportunity.
This way to the library. I think your aunt is skulking about in there.
Now everybody, remain calm. We're just going to ask you a few questions.
Thank heavens you're here. You and Jennifer must get me out of this mess. Before the game started, I saw that pompous Sir Toby check his secret message, and I guessed it was an important message too, because of the way he had been patting his pocket all during tea. Now people think I peeked at it. Please help.
We'll try, NM. Do you have any proof that you didn't snoop into Sir Toby's secret paper?
You little snoop! You took my photo for your Travis gallery. You've got me down as a suspect.
No offense, Aunt Miranda, but we know how hard you dig for your stories sometimes.
Oh yes, I'll chase a newspaper story from Cornwall to the Orkneys. But I'd never pinch a secret government message straight out of someone's pocket. Honest, I wouldn't.
Don't worry, Miranda. I'm sure the detectives believe you. Don't you, dears?
Well, let me tell you the things everyone agrees happened during this insipid game and its dreary aftermath. I wanted to help the Children's Christmas Fund, but this has really been such a bore. The tale of the game itself is as full of excitement as a trip to the local grocery. Dear Lady Edna got eliminated on the very first go, and your Aunt Miranda went out at the end of the second round. On the third go-around, old Sir Toby plops down in his own chair. Then he bops right up again, shrieking about some secret message or other. He looked like a giant penguin crying because his egg cracked while someone else was sitting on it. It's probably no secret message at all, just some deadly dull government memo about his new solar energy plant. He's always blathering on about that station. What a crashing bore. Watching Sir Toby dance around in circles was fun, though. Perhaps the only part of the festivities worth paying for.
Did you ever sit in Sir Toby's chair, Ned?
No, I'm sure of that. That's one thing I do remember quite distinctly.
Hmm.
The first thing I must make very clear is that my daughter is quite innocent.
How do you know that, Mr. Meringue?
Well, I just know it, that's all. It's about all I know about that dizzying game. Who knows how many times we went around the table before Julia stopped the music? No one can say. All I remember is that when the music ended the second time, I dropped into the nearest chair and found out it was my own. Your Aunt Miranda tried to sit in it too, but she was too late. She was out.
I'll show you out to the garden. It's right this way. Miss Eagle, if I may make so bold, may I offer a bit of advice?
Why, certainly, Julia. Go right ahead.
It seems it might be possible to reconstruct how the game of musical chairs progressed. Miss Eagle, you know who sat each time in what chair, including who sat in Mr. Uppington's chair. If one could learn who sat in what chair each round, and who dropped out, and which chair was removed, then this could be plotted on a scrap of paper. Here's the garden, miss.
Thank you, Julia. This must be Mr. Meringue's daughter, Ray.
Really? What on earth would I want with Sir Toby's mouldy old secret message? It's probably some silly government study on the number of hedgehogs in Wolverhampton, or some such rubbish.
From the look on Sir Toby's face, Ray, I bet it's a little more vital than that. Can you tell us what you remember about the game of musical chairs?
Well, I wanted to be helpful, so I was the one who pulled chairs away from the table, so there would always be one less chair than people still playing. When we all stood up to play, I pushed my chair against the wall. Then, after the music stopped the first time, I found myself in Lady Edna's chair, so before the second round, I pushed it against the wall. Whenever the music would stop and someone was out, I always pulled away the chair I had ended up sitting in, and pushed it over to the wall.
Do you remember all the people who sat in Sir Toby's chair while you were playing?
No. We were all dashing around and around the table, and the music was blaring, and every time it stopped, we all leapt for a seat, with everyone laughing. I just can't remember.
It's time for the snooper to face the music. If you've got pen and paper there, you might want to make a diagram that shows who sat where and when, to help you point out the culprit. Then, when you're sure, pick the clues that prove our case. Those are the clues that spell doom for our secret snooper. Now point out the person you suspect of prying into Sir Toby's papers. You're right. Ned Bassett broke the seal on Sir Toby's secret message. Fortunately, he did it to poke fun at Sir Toby because he was bored, so he never actually read what the message said. This crime forced us to reconstruct the exact circumstances of the party. A pencil and paper helped us keep it all straight. The first important thing to notice, the order of the note cards on the table. That told us for sure how the people lined up around the table playing musical chairs, and it told us the order the chairs were in. In the first round, we learned from Ray that she sat in Lady Edna's chair. That meant that the person after her in the lineup, Ned, was sitting in the chair after Lady Edna's, Sir Toby's chair. In the second round, we learned from Mr. Meringue that he sat in his own chair. If you work out in order who then sat where, taking into account the chairs and people who were out, you'd find out that once again Ned was sitting in Sir Toby's chair, and he claimed he never sat in Sir Toby's chair. Sure. In the third round, Sir Toby sat in his own chair, and a discovered the broken seal on his secret message. It could only have been Ned who stole that piece.